All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What the Fuck is Nirvana? I am Dusa.
I'm Nadia.
And we're here.
Coming to give you a little insight about what we're going to talk about on this podcast.
Yes. Now, when a lot of people think of Nirvana, first of all, they're like, what the fuck is Nirvana?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what it is.
At all.
Or they think of the band.
Exactly.
Where, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Nirvana is a little more than that.
Yes.
Why we think it's important is because I feel like we've strayed away from that. What that is a place of peace, a place of happiness. It is your highest state of being, your highest state of enlightenment, basically surpassing all of your desires and letting your suffering pretty much go away. And I feel like, it's kind of hard for us in this day and age to get there.
Because I feel like everybody in life is trying to find their own,
and it looks different.
Nirvana. It does look different for everyone. And we are also on a quest of, realizing our own Nirvana. So it's like the show is like, hey, we're in this bitch together. Let's fucking all do it together.
That part.
So we're going to be talking about so many different arenas.
A lot of the things we're going to bring to you is also stuff that we're researching.
Yes.
So we're not just talking about our own opinions and what we think Nirvana should look like.
Exactly.
And whatnot. We're, again, like we said, it's situational.
Right.
But we're trying to show this guideline.
There is a guideline. A lot of ancient, prophets, people that came before us, gave us a lot of information, and we want to investigate that.
For sure.
As well as the normal everyday stuff that we're dealing with on a regular basis, like relationships, adulting,
current events,
and music, just everything is just
the
all
arts,
connected.
The arts in general, because the arts, that all of it comes from source.
Exactly. So it's all connected, and it's what makes us human. And there's a lot more we have in common than we fucking realize.
For sure. And it's funny because what we think differentiates us from another, usually being like religion or how we see life and whatnot, is really what connects us.
Exactly.
Because we're thinking that we're so different, like, it's my Allah, it's my God, it's my Buddha, it's my crystals, and it's like, we're all talking about the same thing.
Low key.
But yeah, Nirvana. We want to talk about it on all levels.
All levels.
Spiritual. We can even talk about it in a religious, on a religious point of view.
Health and wellness, healing.
All of that.
Food. Everything under the sun.
Because everything, what we eat isn't just what we eat.
Yeah.
Right? That what we eat is the information we take in every day.
The five senses.
The people that we talk to every day.
Literally what we listen to, the music, what we feed ourselves, who we're around.
How we feel. All that.
A lot, and it all affects how we feel inside and how we project ourselves out into the world. So we all need a little bit of knowledge in those areas. So yeah, that's what we're here for. And we chose the name because we wanted something thought-provoking.
For sure.
So it's like, what the fuck is Nirvana? What the fuck?
Because we were just going to go with, like, the Nirvana podcast.
Yeah. And then we're going to have a lot of dope guests because we have a lot of dope friends.
We're also in a hot spot in Florida. Tampa is very underrated. It is a very underrated city when it comes to Florida, because when you think about, like, poppin' cities in Florida, you go straight to Miami. Or Orlando, even. Yeah. And, I'm not,
they cool and all.
Yeah, they
got the shit going on too.
Tampa's different. Tampa's different.
Come up.
I
has been for a minute
I say
too.
that like Miami is like chaotic on the scale of chaotic. It's like chaotic bad, chaotic neutral, like a little chaotic bad. But Tampa is more chaotic good.
It depends. Wherever you go, there's both spectrums.
Okay, yeah.
But I do feel like Tampa has its own vibe. Yes, we both have beaches, palm trees, but Tampa does have its own personality, its own vibe. Sure. And I personally believe we have the prettiest women in the United States.
That's a fact.
Personally.
Yeah, Tampa's a little different.
Yeah, even the men too are very attractive. Even the bitches I don't like, they're pretty hot too. So, yeah, we're definitely in the hot spot. I would give credit where it's due. But and then a lot of businesses.
Oh yeah, it's on the up and coming. Real estate is popping right now.
Yep.
Commercial, residential, all that.
And they're like, definitely Tom Brady. I feel like
He put us on.
he definitely put us on. Thank you for the Super Bowl. We won the Super Bowl at 2020, right? Yeah, it was 2020.
I don't know.
During the apocalypse. But yeah, well, I also blame him for why the rent is going up. So thanks, but no thanks. But it's okay because the money's going up too. But
I would
so
say I'm
yeah.
a property manager, girl.
Yeah.
That rent go up.
Exactly. Wow, damn.
Sorry. I'm kidding.
Sleeping with the enemy.
I'm kidding. So even that's a topic that we could talk about also or something we want to talk about is how to make the community better without gentrifying it, without like jacking up the prices of everything, but still fostering a community. And I think, yes, that's really what it stems from. Patriarchy is what fuels capitalism.
Yeah.
And that really just comes from our programming from a while ago.
Right. So what's next on the
Before
list?
we get into that, let's talk about ourselves. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Dusa.
Okay, so I'll introduce myself. So, Big Dusa. I'm a rapper. I am just a human trying to make my dreams come true and trying to bring a higher frequency onto earth because shit is a little pretty shitty right now. And, but yeah, so I do music, podcasting now. I'm an insurance agent, and I'm a creative, and I'm just, I'm a dreamer. Mm-hmm. I'm a dreamer. What can I say? I've been doing music for a long time, but interesting enough, before I started doing music, I actually went to school for journalism.
Ooh.
And I always knew that I wanted to do music, but I was like, damn, okay. And this was like in 2012. I'm like, what is the best way to approach learning about the music industry? And are you familiar with Ludacris's story of how he like came up? He was like a radio show host with DJ Nabs. Shout out to DJ Nabs. And then he networked, and then he started doing music, and then he's at where he's at now. So I looked at his method, and I'm like, okay, you're kind of onto something. And I kind of always wanted to be like a Breakfast Club host too. Like I always wanted to, So I went to school for it, and then I was working at Drug Hut at the time. I was like 19 years old. I was working at Drug Hut. And one of my homegirls sent me a picture of like a flyer that said host needed, audition in Clearwater. So as soon as I got off of work, I fucking went to Clearwater, and I auditioned for this radio show. Now, mind you, it was like an old, fat, creepy, like white dude, and he was very perverted, and I was just like, God damn, but I handled myself pretty good, And then the producer was like, hey, so do you want to fucking create your own show? And I was like, hell yeah. Mind you, 19 at the time, but I'm like, yeah, fuck it, run it. You know what I'm saying? So, so me and like 3 of my friends, Randall, Ebony, and Tim, we created our own radio show called No Remorse. And that's when I was like, damn, so I really don't need to go to school. I mean, of course I need to go to school to learn certain things, but I could just do the shit right now. I don't have to wait for an opportunity. I could just create my own. And we did the radio show. It was even before YouTube, like people were putting stuff on YouTube and stuff like that. And it was live. So we had a website. It would go live on the website. People could call in. And we're just a whole bunch of 19-year-olds, people calling in. And then it was very fun and chaotic. And we threw shows and stuff like that. We had a lot of people that we interviewed in the Tampa Bay area that were music artists and creatives and stuff like that. And through that networking, not only did I gain the confidence and like, okay, I think I know what I'm doing now, but it opened my mind to like, damn, manifestation is real and you can actually like create like your own reality. Sure. So I feel like that's intertwined with my purpose along with my music. And like, I feel like podcasting, I'm so glad it's a thing now because I've evolved as a human through listening to other people and podcasts and lectures and stuff like that. So I feel like I want to do the same and just put my stamp into the world too. And, especially when it comes to my music. Like, I want to intertwine podcasting with my music because I want people to know, like, who I am outside of just, like, songs and then posting, like, you know, content here and there. Like, there's just so much more to me. I feel like I'm, like, someone of substance and have just so much more to get off, you know? So I feel like podcasting is the perfect way to gain supporters, people to get to know who I am. Because once people fall in love with who you are as a person, they're going to support whatever you do.
For sure.
You know, so I feel like coming at this angle is the most effective, and it's a great way to just get yourself out there. So, it's a little something, something. But yeah, I'm also a music artist, so follow me. You know what I'm saying? Look at my video on YouTube. I dropped one like not too long ago, but yeah, and more is coming soon.
Big Dusa.
Yeah. So what about you? Tell us, you know what I mean?
It's hard to follow up on. No, I'm just kidding. So my name is Nadia. I came to Tampa 3 years ago, and I've honestly been learning a lot ever since. I've been on my journey for a minute, but I feel like since I've moved to Florida, it's my journey kind of shifted gears, and I'm in sport mode right now. Like I'm going pretty quick right now. So I'm doing a few things. I'm property managing. I'm doing real estate. I'm a realtor. I still teach yoga. Doing my podcast and shit here, you know, a little something. Above all, I'm a humanitarian. So the fact that I'm Palestinian really probably and most likely is what drives all of these things in me.
Right.
Because when it comes to the property managing and the real estate, that's what I know, first of all, is in my blood because, you know, my family just beyond that. So that's where it comes from. However, it also fuels what I do love. And I love to teach yoga. And I also love being Palestinian. Like, and I love teaching people about that. Like, about the history of it, about what we're going through right now, and about what, because it's all I got. It's all we, like, being on the other side of the world, you feel helpless because there's not much we can do. There's, like, unless we're donating to small GoFundMes or small projects that it's hard to kind of track what's going in because Israel allows what goes in and what comes out. Especially in Gaza right now.
I know that I've seen through your interactions with people and their lack of knowing and understanding what's going on, you just enlightening them.
And it just comes out of me. It just comes out of me. And that's definitely been a big inspiration as to why I want to start this podcast, why I want to be on this podcast. It also, my yoga background is also what's fueled that as well. Because when I first started teaching yoga, I remember I was a little rusty. I mean, it's a very, very hard practice, especially teaching it. And I remember a couple classes in and people being like, oh my God, coming up to me like, oh my God, that was great. Like, I loved, and I was like, oh, what part did they love? They were like, your Dharma talk. And it was always about the Dharma talk. Because I do a little
What's Dharma?
Dharma. Okay, let's see.
Yeah,
let's
pull up the definition.
Because I could give you my version of it, but let's
do both.
The actual definition of Dharma. So Dharma is the eternal and inherent nature of reality.
Okay.
The aspect of truth or reality. My version of Dharma is more so like a talk about a path. Like it's not everybody's reality, but it can be, right? And what I noticed is that whenever I would write a Dharma talk, it would be based on something that's going on in my life, and then I'd get people coming up to me and being like, oh my God, that's literally what's going on right now. And I mean, I'm a great yoga teacher. I have great classes, but my Dharma talks are really what like got to my students.
Right.
And I saw them like evolving through like in my own eyes in front of me. Like I had people coming up to me telling me I saved their marriage, like because they were going to my class every single week, and they had to like, you know, fight through their demons through our Dharma talks. Like, you know, after class they'd talk about what I was talking about, and it helped them. Right. And I find that really helped me with my voice. That really helped me find my voice and also connected me on my path of wanting to help other people get to where I got. Not to where I got, but to the realizations. Right. So, like, I know if it wasn't for yoga, and anyone who knows me before yoga knows that I would have the path that I would have gone on would have been completely 180, 360.
Yeah,
from
because a
where
lot
I
of people
am.
think yoga is just like doing stretches, but no, it's much more than that. It's spiritual.
And Nirvana is part of yoga.
Mm.
Nirvana is the last limb of yoga.
Exactly.
That's where we're all trying to attain.
Right.
And it's like the physical part of yoga is only one aspect of the 8 things of yoga.
Right.
So then there's 6 other things, and then Nirvana at the top.
See, even through yoga, people trying to reach Nirvana.
Oh, for sure,
See?
for sure.
I need to take some yoga classes because I need to. But no, like I would say, similar to you, spirituality has definitely helped me navigate through the matrix.
For sure.
And navigate through knowledge of self in a way to where I have. Now, spirituality does make you have accountability. Because once you know some shit, you got to honor it. But
And there's no one knowing it.
Yeah.
'Cause like you just said, it's going through the matrix. But also, I mean, yeah, going through the matrix and still staying on that path while having because we still got to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I got my master's, and I know for a while I struggled with that because I was like, I just want to teach yoga.
Right.
Why am I getting why am I in school? Like,
Right.
why am I? And it did help me, like, my education really did help me be able to follow this path that I'm on right now.
Yeah.
Just getting there, memorizing and whatnot.
Yeah, which is effective. It does give you that. I think everybody needs to go through a form. Like, school is kind of a form of initiation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Depending
sure.
on what it is.
And we all have our own school.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes it's not a master's degree for everybody.
Yeah.
That's not, like we just said, the path is not linear. It's not a one path fits all.
Yeah, because I just feel like it's like depending on what you want to do or what you feel like your purpose is. Like for me, I got my AA, and then I already knew what I wanted to do. I already knew I wanted to do music. I already knew I wanted to be a creative. So my dad got so fucking pissed off at me, and he's still holding it over my head. I don't have my bachelor's yet, but I'm like, I already know what I want to do, so why not just start going in that area? School is not going to help me become a music artist.
And that's the only thing I would say is school helps you get your foot in the door. School helps you have your name mentioned in conversations and that's the only thing I would say about schooling. And I'm not but again, it's certain conversations. In the music industry, not many depending on where in the music. I mean, like if you're an engineer, you might need to be going to yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if you're an artist, that's not the same case.
Yeah, I just dove and I feel like the music industry was my college. Honestly, because, okay, so I started doing music here, then I moved to Atlanta, networked in Atlanta, then moved to LA, got to the point to where this little girl from Tampa was able to get signed to a label, live in LA, and work with like the most premier people in the music industry that are writing music and like music executives and everything, even to meeting Dame Dash, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, I'm telling you, the universe, once you lock in and you're like, this is what I want to do, then for me, the universe has been my biggest companion in helping me navigate through these different spaces. Because music and the industry, it's all like spiritual. Everybody's literally like creating something from their brains and manifesting it in reality. So definitely like what you're saying with the yoga and then how that's helped you with your journey, the spirituality.
And that's all
music.
source.
It's all source,
That's all from source. And that's what I was just talking about, how like we all are, not we, but like the world be arguing about what it is, right? What it is what source is.
Right.
Or like whose source is right.
Right.
And even it's like to some people it's just creating.
Yeah.
Like it really is that feeling you get when you tap into creation.
Because we are creators. That's human beings. We like create. We create even when we don't know creating, based off of what we're speaking, based off of what we're thinking, based off. It's like part of human nature.
And it wasn't until a couple years into teaching yoga that I realized, I was like, wait, I'm low-key an artist. Because the flows to write, not just the Dharma talk, but the flow of class, the music playlist that has to go, it has to, like a bell curve, it's like up and then down. All of it is an art. And
It
And
is.
that's not just to say yoga is an art, is the only art. That's just to say anything that helps you tap into that source, into that that feeling of creating, that's an art.
Cooking is creating.
There we go, an art.
How you dress.
An art.
You know what I mean?
100% an art, for sure. The way you apply your makeup.
Yep. Oh, hell yeah. It's like painting on your face.
But well, Buddhism, it's funny because there's a part of Buddhism they teach you about how making everything like an art. You know, like even eating, you know, make it like an art when you eat. So it's like, because everything, and art is discipline in itself. So even like eating, for example, I remember I went to like a meditation retreat and they taught us to eat, and every time we took a bite we'd have to put our fork or spoon down. Because it's like, and the way you would enjoy food was on another level.
Wait, so...
Took a bite, put your fork down.
And then, like, finish chewing.
And finish chewing it, and then swallow it. And then once you're done, pick your fork back up.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I feel like when I eat, I'm just like... Because you don't get to enjoy it.
Art and meditation go hand in hand.
Okay.
Because you're
That's true.
You're type meditating, like it's like flow state.
Flow state,
when you're creating or like when you're performing.
Yeah, in the studio too, like writing music. Yeah, you tap into that flow state, and then that's that connection with source too, where it's like shit just downloads, and then you're like, oh shit, I have an idea. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
What the fuck is Nirvana?
So another source of inspo we got for this podcast was obviously the GOAT, Princella Clark.
Queenmaker!
She really is the GOAT.
I don't feel like I just feel like she's ahead of her time.
She is. She's so underrated, and people don't understand her until they're ready to understand her.
Yeah, you gotta be ready to receive.
You gotta be ready to receive.
Yeah, I feel like we were there. We were ready.
And we've seen people not ready.
Yeah.
We've tried to put people on, and sometimes it doesn't click.
Yeah. That's how it be sometimes.
And so I feel like we're a little bit of a, what's the word? A little, not watered down. That's not the word I'm thinking of. But, you know, a little more of a lighter version of Queenmaker. Because, you know, sometimes I feel like, and I've said this before, I feel like the message and the, what's the word that you're thinking of? The
like her
delivery.
You're right.
Is very important.
It is.
Delivery is very important, and she's very articulate. She researches everything, and that's really what I love about her.
That's what I like.
Is that she'll
it's like facts.
tell you right now.
Yeah.
Like, she's not telling you opinions.
Right.
She's literally telling you the biological, the psychological, and the sociological makeup of X, Y, and Z.
So for people that don't know who she is, so she has a YouTube channel, and her basic message is like helping women evolve and knowing our true nature, helping us understand men and decenter men so that we can evolve as women and live our highest like versions of ourselves and not be so distracted by like what we're told how life is supposed to be, if that makes sense. Is that like a good grasp of it?
For sure.
So she emphasizes on the patriarchy.
She does.
And the matriarchy. And then she like does little case studies of like different topics.
Yeah, she'll like take maybe a clip or maybe a whole even like episode of
like a Cat Williams interview she did. She'll psychoanalyze.
Okay, I was gonna say that's a better example of what I was about to say. But yeah, of the Cat Williams.
Yeah, we don't got into.
I was gonna say
like
fresh and fit.
Fresh and fit.
Yeah,
no,
well,
like,
she'll go on. She'll get on them too.
Yeah.
Like but with Cat Williams, she was paying homage to him. She was.
She was. But what I like is that she'll psychoanalyze a video. So that
on every level.
So we're like kind of understanding the psychology of what's going on. But I think the most helpful thing that she did for me was help me understand the true nature of men. Mm-hmm. And there are anomalies, like the guys that are working with us, even in this room right now. It doesn't apply to everybody.
Like
but
I said, the
general
deviation curve.
Exactly.
It's that bell curve.
Yeah.
It's like over here is what's average, and then you have below average, and you have above average, and above average is only going to be like that 12%, if I'm not mistaken. However, like we were talking about yesterday, it doesn't apply to women because we are a lot closer to source.
Right.
So even if it does apply to us, it's like, imagine the spectrum is here. Like the levels are different.
Exactly.
Like that, their curve is over here and our curve is kind of over here.
Long story short, we're just two different species, and our natures are different. And the confusion is that women think that men are like women, and they're not. So it's like, I feel like for me, once I know the true nature of something, then it helps me navigate through
And
it.
what do you mean by that? When I know what you mean, but I want to know what you mean by women think men are like women. What do you mean like women?
Well, like the imbalances within our biology, like our frontal lobe, like, we mature quicker than men, which is something that everybody knows.
We have compassion and empathy, like literally ingrained in us.
Yeah.
We have a lower level of aggression.
Testosterone. And then
we're more caring, we're more nurturing.
Naturally.
It doesn't
have to
in
be
our
taught.
nature.
Yeah, in our nature. So
we believe that men are that way too. And
yes.
that's what kind of...
And the programming from movies, thinking like damsel in distress, oh my God, the love of my life, which is a real thing, but you have to become the love of your life of yourself before you expect a man to be that for you. Because then you put yourself in a trap. You put yourself vulnerable to like putting your life in someone else's hands. And that is very dangerous in itself. And it's just programming, and it's nobody's fault. Like, nobody... one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't understand about her message is that she's not condemning men. She's not saying men you guys are shitty people. She's putting everything on the patriarchy, which messed up the balance of everything. And now she's trying to, which a lot of people are simultaneously, but her message is just really potent. You could tell she put a lot of work in. And
like a lot of men take it personally.
Yeah, they do.
Like they're like, well, I don't blah blah blah. Like I didn't. Well, it's like, again, the patriarchy didn't start now.
Yeah.
It started a long time ago.
Right.
When it switched from matriarchy to patriarchy because men took the power by starting wars.
Yeah.
They started wars and they breeded men to fight those wars, and then they incentivized them to fight the wars by making them the head of the household, letting them have women, letting them have money, natural resources, artificial resources, what have you.
Yeah.
And sooner or later, matriarchy switched into patriarchy. Now, that's not to say that the world was a matriarchy at one point. It was just that a lot of civilizations, a lot of communities were primarily
matrilineal, where they honor nature, they honored life. We worked with Mother Nature. Now everything is like artificial,
and it's also very like split up.
Yeah,
like before, whereas it was like fostering a community was very important in all matriarchies. Like it's like the saying says, it takes a village.
It does
right?
take a village.
And now we're not in that. We're in an age of separation at this point, and that's fueled by the patriarchy.
Capitalism.
Greed. Oh my God. The economy for sure will do that to you. Think you're on your own and.
No, yeah, and then one thing I like that she says is like community with women too. Like sisterhood.
She emphasized that a lot.
Yeah, like remember that clip on the Instagram? So we'll put it up. But there's this clip of her talking about the nuclear family, and oh my fucking God, all I put was like, yo, like I like what she's saying, like like saying something simple, and so many people got on my head for like saying like, yo, she's speaking that real shit.
So you believe that men and women should not live together in the same residence?
Absolutely.
They should not.
They should not.
Okay, so a man should not be living in the home where he raises his children.
No. Everybody understands that there should be separation, because if you didn't, then no one would be complaining about men going into women's bathrooms, right? Everybody would just share a bathroom. Everybody would share locker rooms. People understand that there should be a healthy separation. And what happens is when you cohabitate, you put pressure on both the male and the female, which causes dysfunction in the house because it's going against both parties' nature. So the way the male's brain is wired is not conducive to the way women function.
Yeah, the nuclear family really does that, though. It separates women from the community.
Yeah, and it's not natural.
It's not. It really isn't.
Argument.
It's something that was only formed, I don't know, maybe what did she say, like a century ago?
Yeah, not too long ago.
Something like that.
After so slavery, and then we were freed, and then all the world's wars. Okay, so when people were being drafted, and then, women have been sold as products
Oh, yeah.
forever now, and
But she just gives a lot of clarity.
Yeah.
And we just want to be a vessel through her, Like, she's one of our many inspirations.
Well, yeah, and-
Slumflower is another inspiration.
Slumflower, yeah.
And I find that their message is not to shit on men. It's not to do that, but it's to help women navigate. If you're going to still choose to be heterosexual, then you need to know this, and that.
the bottom line is that everybody has been bamboozled. Everybody. We have been taken out of our true nature, and I feel like the world goes through cycles of like dark ages and the golden age.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're coming out of and the age of Aquarius, which is not like the age of information. I feel like human beings are evolving to a place where our true nature is being realigned. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the book I showed you.
Yeah,
Going
and
from the age of separation to the age of just, what was it? I think they called it like the age of unification or something like that. Because we really, in the age of separation, we kind of already found out that white picket fence is like a dream that we were sold.
Exactly.
And it ain't real. Like, we're realizing that our people that are in power are not our
charlatans.
literally are not the people that should be
what?
representing us.
Yeah, no.
They're the ones that are causing the most destruction in the world. Like, the things that we see.
Because we've been asleep. Everybody's been asleep. So it's like the feminine. Okay, so not only is everybody waking up because the veil is now being thinned on a spiritual level, but the feminine nature is waking up too. So all the women are waking up. Because the feminine, inner feminine of men too, is like now waking up, which is, so people think God is a woman, God is creation. So if that's the case, then we're having a mass spiritual awakening, and sometimes it starts with chaos, and through chaos comes order. But what I like about her is that just to bring it back, she's helping women awaken to their true power, so we can break the programming. So that because everybody has the right to live their own reality, create their own Nirvana on earth. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I have to follow a certain type of blueprint, and if I don't, then I'm less than. Everybody has their own purpose.
And she really wakes women up to that. Like, she'll have women that are like 60, 70 years old calling her show and being like, yo,
I wish I knew you.
Like, you changed my life now, this year. I wish I knew, women that have left, abusive relationships, or maybe not even abusive, just relationships that probably weren't serving them anymore, that they thought they needed to stay in because of what? Because of patriarchy programming them to think that. But she really does. She helps women, heal through pain without even, just through her telling her story.
Yeah. Yeah, because her story's crazy.
It is. It is. She helps women embrace their femininity because that's something that we also have a skewed thought about. What we think is femininity, feminine, it's not putting on makeup and putting on heels and looking cute. Femininity is getting in touch with our nurturing side, our compassion, our patience, our kindness, our empathy. That's true feminism. That's truly being, and there is no feminism without it being intersectional.
Exactly.
So if it's a person of color that's preaching it, I'm here for it, for sure.
And even men have their feminine side too, because a lot of them have been taught don't cry, don't show emotion and stuff like that. But that's what comes with being human. Every human has masculine and feminine energy. So I feel like I think what's going to start happening too is us having conversations about patriarchy and about how it suppressed men's feminine energy too, and how that is all just connected with why we're in
And I've been hearing, I don't know about you, but I see a lot of stuff online where it's women are saying like, oh, you know, dudes just are trying to be like women nowadays, like they're being feminine, blah blah blah. And it's like, I don't think, again, it's because our version of feminine is what like putting on nail polish and stuff like that. That's not it.
Pink. Girls like pink, boys like blue.
Like that's not it. That,
boys
like,
can wear pink. What's the big?
I wish a man would tap into his feminine side, because that means they're more nurturing, they're more compassionate, they're more loving.
Right.
Like, because even the emotion of love is something that's harder for men, and that's something that Queenmaker says, and we're still exploring.
Yeah, we are.
We're still exploring this hypothesis.
Yeah.
In that men can't love, they don't have the ability to, and we are still exploring this.
Well, I think okay.
Anomaly?
So,
I don't know.
Yeah. So what I think is this, like, everybody has their own, like, when they do their research, everybody comes up with their own hypothesis and stuff like that. Like I told you, I live like my life in a scientific method, and I experience stuff, and then my belief system will be based off of my experiences. But a lot of the knowledge that she has is based off of like the universal laws. And then so when I was listening to her, and she was talking about her views of the nature of men are based off of her studies, I feel like she's absolutely correct. And I think the solution is men tapping into their feminine energy, which would turn that part on within them. You know, I feel like the patriarchy has made them suppress it. But I do feel like once men tap into their feminine energy, they can awaken up those realizations and the abilities, and then be able to like love.
And that was the
I genuinely do.
podcast episode that, remember, she went on with the pastor, Pastor Jim, I think. Pastor Tim. And basically, like, they came to the conclusion. I didn't get to watch her full reaction to the thing, because I think she had like 4 videos. Each one was like 3 hours for that. But I watched the initial interview, and it was like the conclusion was like, he was like, so do you think that men should be leading other men to be doing this? Because they were like, because they agreed that it's really hard for men to take the lead from women, like to take orders from women, and to like, because anything she says, it's like, it's hard for, like, a lot of men will push back, but if it comes out of Pastor Tim's mouth, it was like easier for, it was
she was saying like men need to be like in a hierarchy, right?
Or at least think they are. In terms of the love, though, to circle back on what she was saying about men and whether or not they're able to, I think that also, I think it's, everyone has their own spectrum of love.
Yes.
And to say that a man can't love, I think, is like such a definitive statement. I was saying this yesterday. I don't like using the word always, and I don't like using the word never, because they're definitive statements, and that just means like there's nothing that's definitive. Everything is ever changing, and everything is situational. Yep. So like, but however, I've asked my dad, because I've tried to pick his brain about Princella's, theories, and he's like, yeah, men can't love. However, my dad will never say he doesn't love me, but those are different types of loves. Obviously.
Okay, I think human beings are kind of like coming to realizations of what they think love is in general too.
Because that's something also we kind of don't. It's a hard word to put a definition to.
Yeah.
That's something she also teaches, actually.
Yeah. It is something she teaches.
Yeah.
She has a book on it.
Uh-huh.
She has a book on it.
And we're in the middle of reading it.
Yeah, we are in the middle of reading it. I think love is just like, okay, well, let me go back to saying this. I think what a lot of people think love is attachment, possession. Desire. And outside, like something outside of themselves that they have to attain to be whole. So, and I feel like the cheat code, and I think not only women should do this, but men should do it too, is self-love and becoming whole.
In yourself, yeah.
And then when you navigate through the world, you're not trying to take love from other people, and you're not feeling like you have to compromise yourself to get love from, like, other things. I feel like that's the little cheat code.
So y'all got our individual intros, but
Right.
I feel like we have a collective intro too.
Yeah.
You and I, we have our little story.
Yes, we do.
As to how we met.
Yeah.
And how we got here from there.
Yeah.
We
don't gotta tell them.
No, not everything. Shit, not everything.
Okay. But yes, so it was definitely like love at first sight.
Yeah, off the rip.
And yeah, we clicked.
Yes, super clicked. Had a great time. Had a great Summer.
Because
when
our
we met.
friendship, I would say that we were party friends at first.
Yeah, no, for
But
sure.
well, party
for
friends,
sure.
knowing that we like connect.
Yeah,
but that's when we
still-
were kind of in our like party era.
It was the summer. It was like, you know, we were
'Cause
wilding.
Tampa, fucking party city. One thing we know how to motherfucking do is motherfucking party, okay?
That's a fact.
Okay.
And for no reason.
For no
Tampa
reason.
will take
It's
any
a Tuesday.
any excuse. Taco Tuesday is a Tampa holiday. It's
And we have the most strip clubs in the United States of America.
fucking capital. That's wild.
Along with the prettiest girls, like it's paradise.
It makes sense.
It's fucking paradise. But we were party friends, like, and then
And we kept like pushing to like we were like, all right, we gotta hang out
Yeah, we
outside.
gotta hang out, yeah.
outside, like not outside, but like inside.
inside, like we gotta.
And then after
shift-
that first time, it was like it
Yeah.
was easy.
It was easy.
It was like we were, just.
Yeah.
It was just natural. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to make friends after, after high school, after college, when you're just an
is.
adult in general.
Yeah.
Making friends is a little more tricky because, you don't know someone's past. Everyone has their own intentions. You never really know a person.
Yeah.
However, it was a very easy relationship with you, for sure. Very easy friendship.
And I would say I be knowing when the universe brings people into my life. Like I be knowing. I be like, oh, okay, bet. Yes,
See,
let's
back in the
explore
day,
this friendship.
Back in the day, I couldn't differentiate that,
Mm-hmm.
and I find that what we learned. So we had our little journey. We did a lot of some partying, and then we kind of got put on. You put me onto Queen Maker.
Yes, because we were both in relationships that were very, very questionable, and we were both like, what the fuck? Because, we date in our generation. And then it's like we're all experiencing the same things with men and it's just not clicking. And then it's like you kind of look at yourself and be like, is it me? Is it men?
But it can't be me for everybody.
For everybody.
Right? Because I don't know about you, I have so many stories of girls telling me things of like ain't shit dudes that have done stuff. And it's like, when you tell a guy that, and they'll be like, oh, not all men. You pick. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, the way you pick men. So every woman has a problem with the way they pick men? I don't know about all that.
Yeah, so with the relationship I was in, it was probably like the most toxic shit fucking ever. I feel like the universe, like, be like, okay, all right, let me give you escape. Let me give you a way out. Or you have to learn this lesson so when the student is ready to learn, the teacher appears.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what it was. So she came into my reality. I started listening to her, and I'm like, holy shit, I just hit the jackpot of information and I put you on. And then you were able to see with the same eyes. And I feel like that's what's really evolved
And
our
that's
friendship.
what really, exactly.
Yeah.
Like when we were like, we would just be like writing, listening, and just like vibing to her, just listening to her talk just for
Yeah, she our
hours and
friend.
hours and hours. Yeah. Mother.
Yeah. Mother. No,
For
and we really took
sure.
her in, and it helped us like see reality in a more clear.
And it definitely, like
Right.
you said, it helped us decenter men.
Yes!
And I know that sounds so like cliche.
Right.
Because, we're in it, but it really is like something that we've been programmed to do since before since watching television, since watching Disney movies and whatnot. And so it's a practice. It's not something that you just like, oh, Queen Maker said decenter men, all right. It's something that you literally have to practice, and then the universe will start throwing you curveball.
And then it's like, okay, so I do feel like certain women's purpose is to be mothers, right? Is to be mothers. So them every day going out to find the perfect mate might be their purpose, might be their journey. Me personally, do I want to have kids? Eventually. But is that my primary focus right now? No, my primary focus is my dreams.
But again, I think that women who do think that, where they're like, and I get it, because I've always wanted to be a mother too, but like for someone to be like, oh, I want to be a mom, and that's their only dream in life, it's because of the programming. And it's like the women that do that, like honestly, yeah, they're centering.
Right.
They end up regretting it in the end, or not regretting it in the end, excuse me. They end up like looking back and being like, yo, what the fuck? What I have nothing to show for it but my kids.
I genuinely do feel like some like I feel like before we incarnate to Earth, we choose our soul's purpose, and I do feel like some women, their soul purpose is to be mothers.
And so
Whoever knows who's they're gonna birth to change the world, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the.
But do you
where I'm
think
coming
that
from.
not having another dream, it like will kind of because?
No, yeah.
Well, I'm saying, do you think not having another dream is like, kind of counterproductive to that?
No, because I feel like, and this is the point of like people having their free will really being honored. Like I have a friend of mine that in the beginning of me pursuing my dreams, she was like with me. She did like a promo group with me. Like we worked together and we were like moving in the music industry, really getting somewhere. And she just was never happy. And she's like, I just want to be a mother. She's like, I just want to be a mother. And now she has 2 kids. She's just had another kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I literally observed a woman that her inherent self-fulfilling. Now, does she want to do businesses and stuff like that? But she wanted to be a mother. You know what I'm saying? And then like our friendship kind of was like frictions because we had 2 different purposes. You know, I saw her potential. I'm like, girl, you're so beautiful. You could be a model. You're so talented. You could be a painter. You could do all these things. Her soul's purpose
Was to be a mom.
was to be a mom. And that's where I feel like, because we have to have women that have kids. Like, we have to, you know what I'm saying?
You know, now that I think
So-
about it, I feel like my mom's sole purpose was
Was to be, and look, she birthed you, and you have, you know what I'm saying? But my point was that me personally, the reason why Decentering Men helps me and why it was so apparent that I do that is because men right now for me distract me from achieving my purpose. Some people have like their purpose is create inventions that help push humanity forward. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's through music, whether it's through creating cars, through creating, you know, like everybody's contribution through pursuing their soul's purpose adds to the collective and helps the collective evolve on a whole nother state. So we have to create a world where everybody can know themselves, to know what they have to bring to the table so we can all live in a harmonious reality. Women, however, are the species on this planet where our purpose is manipulated and controlled, and we're not able
because
to
we're
see.
givers.
We're givers.
We
and
like
we've been
to,
programmed.
we're generous.
And,
like
yeah.
So when we do give, it's like we feel like, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Because of the programming, and because that's what we want to do. Because we like to give. Like that's our in our nature is to
Exactly.
give, is to provide.
Yeah.
However, it's in a man's nature to take.
Yeah, and I
And
feel
it's
like
not. It's
Yeah.
not always in a sinister, evil way.
no.
It's not always what we think
Yeah.
like. Oh, they're just trying to take from me. It's like
And bottom line, women's purpose isn't just to have kids. So we are very. What was the statistic that you were telling me about? A group full of men, and then there's a women.
yeah.
What
So
were you?
if there's a group full of men going to make a decision, and like especially like in a business setting, if they add a woman to that group, they're like 60% more likely to make the right decision because women have like this intuition,
Exactly.
this like sixth sense that men don't have.
And that just comes with our biology. That just comes with being a woman. So our nature is not being honored right now, but it's needed in the world right now because look at where the world is at. Why? Because of the imbalance of masculine and feminine energy due to the patriarchy.
Yeah.
So it's like now that we're at this state, don't you think Source wants to put women on Earth to awaken, to create balance? Because shit, even global fucking warming, you know what I'm saying? Like it's imperative now for women to wake up, you know, outside
Discovering
of,
the truth
Yeah.
is literally our only option.
Yeah.
Like the truth is literally our only option.
like it's spooky right now. It's real spooky. So bottom line, there is more to being a woman than just having kids and honoring a man and pleasing a man and everything about men. Like, god damn, like shit.
But we also the reason we're saying this isn't just because we're speaking to women. We're speaking to men when we say these things too.
Yeah.
You know, we're not trying to put men down when we say their nature is to take and to fuck and to fight. That's not what we're doing. We're doing it to spark in them the desire to want to nurture the parts of them that are more feminine
As well.
So to work on being, because when you have and I've talked to parents before who agree, to raise a boy is a lot harder to raise a little girl, because with girls, you teach them to go with their nature. You teach them to tune into their nature. And with boys, you kind of have to teach them to not tune into their nature. They want to destroy. They want to fight. They want to, and you kind of have to teach them to
discipline.
That too.
Because at the end of the day, we are animals just like you know what I'm saying? So, like men that just constantly want to have sex, constantly watch porn, constantly want to fuck on something. Like, you got to have like a fucking hold on your animalistic nature. If not, it's going to consume you and distract you away from your purpose. Their purpose isn't always to do all, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has a purpose. But there's so much going on in the world today to where we can't even really tap in and like focus on, between social media, between the way we eat, and how that disrupts our like function and creates depression and everything. It's just
The
every
matrix
single
in general,
angle
the
we're being
matrix.
fucking attacked on. Every single angle, and that's not our fault. It's being done to us.
And we're just trying to equip everyone with the tools that we're gaining along the way as well.
Yeah, we're doing this all together. That's what this podcast is about. Information creates knowing, and then you do your own research.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is fucking power. And the execution of knowledge is power. So it's like, yeah, we're just here doing our part.
And power gives you control over your life, and then I mean, from there, it's a lot easier to reach nirvana.
And it's fun. Like, life can be fun when you are thinking correctly.
On an elevated, a little higher frequency.
Outside of your nature. So, yeah, that's what we're here to do. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to bring. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, and I can't wait to bring guests on here too.
Oh, yeah.
To emphasize in these different arenas that we want to talk about.
For sure. We're going to be bringing on a lot of guests, some Tampa creatives, a lot of like intellectuals as well. We have a Chinese medicine doctor we're going to bring on as well.
Shout out to Sophia.
Shout out to Sophia Linares at Lina East Acupuncture.
And we're going to have Queen Maker on here one day too.
Oh, no. She is goals. Like, she's going to be on our... And she doesn't... But the thing is, she doesn't fuck with just anybody.
I know.
So just know that she is going to be fucking with us.
No, she is. Because, hello, we part of her. Hello.
She only speaks to intellectuals. She only... And that we are.
Yeah. So... But yeah, what the fuck is Nirvana?
What the fuck is Nirvana?
So you can follow me, Big Dusa, BIGDEUSA.
I'm Namaste_Nadia.
Tell them your real estate page.
Nadia.realty.
Hey, period. And then podcast at What the Fuck is Nirvana. Okay. Mwah. Peace out.